I've known Mike Flaskey for, I don't know, a number of years now. He was the former CEO of Diamond Resorts. Remember, that was sold to Hilton Grand Vacations, and he now is the founder and the president and the CEO of Mike Flaskey Entertainment. They have a pretty aggressive schedule of events already that he's involved in, some of them in the world of golf, and that's why we wanted to have Mike come back on and tell us what's going on in his life and what's going on with some of the projects that he's working on. So with that, I say good day to you, Mike Flaskey. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, Matt. It's great to be on with you. We're excited. We got a lot of great things happening in 2022, and thank you so much for having me on the show.
It's an honor to have you on the show. Now, next week is a testament to your vision. It's a testament to your hard work with the fact that the LPGA's Tournament of Champions, I know you were involved in getting it moved to Lake Nona this year and all of that kicking off. I'm just curious what the swirl of emotions are like for you. You've got to be proud of what you accomplished.
Well, I'm incredibly proud, and I'm incredibly proud of the team that I was fortunate enough to have around me to help build this great event. And, to see the event, and Matt, you and your family were involved in this event from the early days when it was a local fundraiser, and we had the event at Kings Point all the way to where it is today, as the winners only event for the LPGA. And, having sold the company to Hilton and knowing that that deal, was in the works, I knew that the Hilton brand and the Four Seasons brand probably couldn't coexist. And so we got ahead of that. And, I've got a 20 plus year relationship with the Lewis family who owns, Isleworth, Lake Nona, Albany. And I flew over and spent some time with Joe, and he embraced the concept. Lake Nona's at a place where it's just exploding from a commercial standpoint, and the country club, of course, is highly exclusive, but that area over there, it's a perfect time for an event like this to come into the Lake Nona fold, and they embraced it. And yeah, I'm just thrilled. I mean, anytime you can create something that other people find value in, and you take 100-year iconic brand like Hilton and put on it, it's almost like, Ray Allen, that we have a celebrity division in this. And, Ray recently handed the torch over to Steph Curry, who, broke his all-time three-point record. I kind of see it that way. It's almost an honor, to hand it off and have somebody kind of take it to the next level.
Well, let's talk, before we talk about the next level, let's talk about the levels that it did achieve, because it was so very impressive. Obviously, when we're talking about television, we're talking about a sporting event, a live sporting event, the measure is ratings. And this Tournament of Champions, almost from right out of the gate, and I think, Mike, it's because of your vision from right out of the gate, it was a hit from a rating standpoint too.
Well, it was, Matt, and it's a testament to the celebrity aspect of it combined with professional golf. Professional golf has, whether it be the LPGA, the PGA Tour, or the PGA Tour Champions, has the golf fans. But when you bring in an element of, kind of celebrity sport and entertainment stars, it brings a casual fan to the table. So you really get both demographics. And as you mentioned, the ratings really don't lie. I mean, we just had the 2021 ratings come out. And for the third year in a row, this event was the #1 rated non-major on the LPGA, really women's golf, because it was also up against the Olympics and, the U.S. Open and other events that are not sanctioned by the LPGA. And, outside of a couple of the majors, it was at the top. And in particular, I'm proud that it exceeded the ratings of the Olympics every day, and also the Saturday NBC telecast of the Solheim Cup. So, when you package it up against that kind of competition, it just speaks volumes to what we have as a product.
You accomplished so much in your career, Mike, not only with what we're talking about from the standpoint of literally conceiving the concept of this tournament and seeing it through to its fruition and its success, but everything you did from a business standpoint onward. So when the business sold to Hilton, I wonder what the motivation was for you to say, I could go out and I could hunt and play golf anytime I want to and go fishing every day if I want to, but instead you decided to continue to pursue your passion for the game of golf and music and beyond What was your mindset at that time? Was it because you're still a young guy, or was it just because you're a guy that likes to keep moving forward?
Well, I think it's a little bit of all of that. I mean, I'm not ready to, play in the grill game every day, 5, 6 days a week.
Hmm.
With the retirees, I feel like I have a lot to offer, and anytime you sell a business, you kind of are uh, relegated to the sideline in the way of a non-compete for a certain amount of time, at least in that industry. And so, I really didn't know how much interest and how much excitement that we had built around this entertainment platform at Diamond Resorts until I sold the company. It was just so humbling, the outpouring of companies reaching out, wanting me to start a golf tournament for them, wanting to figure out how they could add an experiential element into what they do in their day-to-day core product offering. And as many people know, the world is moving towards that entertainment and that experience world. It's not just enough to have a core product. In particular, if you want to have, kind of the younger demographics become part of your company. And so, the phone started ringing, and, I had to ask myself, I said, look, do you want to do this? And, there was a simple answer. Yes, I got a lot of energy. I have a lot to offer and a lot of great connections. And so we started Mike Flaskey Entertainment, and I'm proud to say, we already have a second event coming up, which we'll probably talk a little bit about, with the PGA Tour Champions that debuts in mid-April. And we're doing a lot of stuff around music and entertainment, and I'm just thrilled. So it's an exciting validation.
Yeah, indeed. Let's talk about that because you mentioned the ClubCorp Classic. That is the event around the PGA Tour Champions. And again, you went at it in a different way. You went at it in a formula that's worked for you, but you also brought golf back to an iconic place. Once again, it seems as though the puzzle of making a live sporting event successful, you're starting to put the pieces together.
Yeah, we are, and the Club Corp Classic, for your fans out there, we really took the model that has been the success of the Hilton Grand Vacations Tournament of Champions, and we're going to have a full field PGA Tour Champions event at Las Colinas Country Club, and we're going to have 50 celebrities competing alongside of them. And the logic there was, and we kind of had a proof of concept on this because we partnered with the Champions Tour early on, as you'll remember, at the Diamond Resorts.
Yeah.
But the PGA Tour Champions, they're in the entertainment space. They know that. Yes, it's highly competitive, but you couple 50 celebrities with the 73 PGA Tour Champions players, and you really have a product that we believe is going to be amazing for both the fans on site, and for TV. And to your point, the Byron Nelson was in that Las Colinas area of Dallas for many, many years. And just a few short years ago, it moved up to McKinney. So it's about an hour now north of the Las Colinas area. And we have seen just an outpouring of support from that community in the business world that really, hated to see that event move up so far north. So we're excited. It's really being embraced. And we believe that, it has the opportunity to do for the PGA Tour Champions TV ratings what we've done for the LPGA.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this formula that, as you mentioned, has already been a proven success for you amongst the celebrities that have already committed, which speaks to, frankly, Mike's relationship with these celebrities, folks. Anthony Anderson, Tim Brown, Roger Clemens, Vinny Del Negro, Colt Ford, Larry the Cable Guy, Brian McCann, Kevin Millar, Mike Modano, Blair O'Neill from Golf Channel, Alfonso Ribeiro, Ivan Rodriguez, Emmett Smith, John Smoltz, Annika Sorenstam, Brian Urlacher, and the list goes on. Am I correct in my assumption that I just boldly made, Mike, that this is directly related to you, and these are people you're just flipping through your phone, calling up and saying, hey, what do you think?
Yes, and that's an earned. It's not. Yes, I have the relationship, but it's because of the credibility of the team that I had around me, and what we built, at the Hilton Grand Vacations, that they know that if I put my name on it and Mike Flaskey Entertainment's involved, it's going to be done correctly and it's going to be done first class. And look, that's one of the things that I've had to really come to grips with. We probably say no, Matt, to 3 out of every 4 opportunities that come across our desk, because the fact is, if I don't have the commitment from the client to do this at the level that the brand standards we think need to be to match up who we are, I'm not going to do it. And so yes, it's not hard to get these athletes and these entertainers to come out, because they know they're going to be treated to a world-class week of entertainment, of golf, and an opportunity to really get their brand out on the national stage and in a different environment than what their day-to-day job is. But we're really just getting started in filling out this celebrity field, in Dallas, and like Orlando, where we typically in some years have had over 100 celebrities and entertainers on a wait list that couldn't get in. We think Dallas, April, 2 weeks after the Masters, perfect weather, center of the country. We think that same dynamic is lining up there for the celebrity community as well.
Now, on the business side of this, when you go to someone of the stature of ClubCorp, and you talked about the reaction that you're getting from the community, again, that you've brought golf back to a historic place, without giving away the secret to the recipe, what is the message to these corporations that you say, okay, align yourself with Mike Flaskey, we're going to put this event together, and this is what we're going to do for your brand that you guys want?
Right. Well, I think the main thing, Matt, is that when you go to a traditional PGA Tour event, or professional golf event for that matter, you really have limited access. If you look at things and you kind of understand the way that the week flows, a company may have the ability to play in a pro-am, and, they may see the PGA Tour player at the draw party for, 15 or 20 minutes. And really then they just kind of become a casual fan, wherever their hospitality suite is, and they watch the golf tournament, like everyone else. In our events, because there's so much competition for the celebrity to be invited to get to play and come out and do this on national TV, we're able to offer a fully inclusive week of hospitality and experiences for the corporation. So in addition to having the entertainment part of it at the draw party and of course the pro-ams, which we've already mentioned, we do evening events, whether it's concerts, whether it's dinner. Like, for example, Reggie Jackson, if you have a group of Yankee fans and you have Insurance Offices of America, he'll have dinner one evening, with 10 of their executives, or 5 of their top clients and 5 of their executives. And so when you have Larry the Cable Guy, who's willing to, kind of stand up and do a short set, just for your key sponsors, he is somebody that, is willing to give his time because he loves golf so much. And so when you string all of that together, we have an event that will start on Monday and end on Sunday, and every single night it has experiences baked in there for the sponsors and the partners that is totally different than a traditional professional golf event. And that's really the X factor.
That X factor for Mike Flaskey has always been also, and I suspect this is because of a personal passion too, Mike, has always been centered around music as well. How important is music at large to this next stage of you?
Well, music is very important. When I was the CEO at Diamond Resorts, we focused heavily as a part of our experiential model on music. And in 2019, before COVID, we actually did about 132 live shows at our resorts across the country. So
Wow.
it gave me the opportunity to build personal relationships with these key artists that we were doing 8, 10, 15 shows a year with. And with that relationship, we're able at Mike Flaskey Entertainment to really save a tremendous amount of money for potential companies that want to, integrate a music experience element into, what they're doing. And we go across all genres. And it's really cool. And look, I was asked to serve on the board at ClubCorp. We talked about ClubCorp recently.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the first things that they wanted to do. They're in the membership business. They've got 350 golf courses around the United States and over 400,000 families that belong to their golf courses. And what they wanted was they wanted a model where they could do something other than just the golf and country club for their member. So what we've done is we've helped them create a brand called Club Life. And this is totally separate from the golf and country club, but over the course of the year throughout their various resorts, they'll do hundreds of different events, and it'll be music, culinary, all kinds. I mean, you name it. I mean, they have come up with such a great lineup, and these are the kinds of things that we help with, and that we do, and music is certainly at the forefront.
That's very cool. Now, in terms of the website, for those of you that are watching us, wherever you're watching us around the world, Mike Flaskey's company is mfentertainment.com, as in Mike Flaskey, mfentertainment.com for more. So I guess the place to wrap this up for me, Mike, would be to ask you, what is next? What do you see on the horizon? Where do you see all of this going?
Well, we think that, we've had, as I said earlier, we've had several opportunities to do other tournaments, and we're very, very selective of who we want to partner with. And we probably see one event in the fall, and that'll round out our nationally televised events. And then really it's just kind of focusing on a few key corporate partners that really want to do things the right way, like we talked about, that we think that really the people that I have the relationships with, that I can pick up the phone and call, that I'm going to make the introductions to, would feel comfortable putting their brand name on, and really knowing that the company you're partnering with is going to do things the right way. And, look, it's just exciting. I believe that this is something that has legs. I mean, we're in the first inning of this whole experiential movement. We were blessed to be a first mover of that in the vacation ownership space, and it allowed us to sell, Diamond Resorts to Hilton Grand Vacations for, $3.9 billion. And one of the, Mark Wang, who's just a great guy, who's the CEO of Hilton, and I'm really excited for him next week to really take the reins and be the face of this golf tournament, like I've been for the last several years. And I'm excited for the golf world and the public to really get to know Mark, because he has a great passion for golf, and he's the kind of person that will continue to make this tournament better, and he's the kind of person that is committed to just what we were talking about. I mean, he has said publicly that the number one reason why he wanted to acquire Diamond Resorts was because of the experiential platform and the fact that we were able to do 3,000 of these unique events a year, and he sees the opportunity to quickly integrate that into the Hilton Grand Vacation side, and not have to build it organically like we did over 6 or 7 years.
That's absolutely brilliant. Mike, as I mentioned at the beginning, and as you alluded to too, with our interactions over the years, I've seen you ascend through your career. I knew you before you were the CEO of Diamond Resorts, and watched what you accomplished through each stage. So I'd like to finish today's interview, if you please, if you're willing, in terms of providing some inspiration for people who are on their own path, hopefully of ascent, but at least have a dream to accomplish something. What advice does Mike Flaskey have for those people who have set a goal and they're hoping to achieve it in their life?
Well, if you have people around you that are not of the right quality, you need to change that immediately. It all begins with who you have around you. And if you're a professional golfer, that means your team, that means your nutritionist, that means your trainer, that means your sports psychologist. If you're, an aspiring CEO, you go nowhere without quality people around you. And I think that anybody that, would have a dream of getting to the top, whether it be in the business world or the professional world, they certainly have to start out with some talent. So, I will make that assumption when I continue to answer this question. But I think it's just the commitment of being able to get up every day and give it everything you have, but you're going nowhere unless you have the right people around you. And that, to me, I believe has been my greatest attribute, is being able to select talent and put the right people around you. And in order to do that, you have to understand where your weaknesses and your opportunities are, and not be afraid to put people around you that are smarter than you, and backfill your weaknesses, and then take your strengths and run with them. And that would be the advice.
That's awesome stuff. Mike Flaskey, it's mfentertainment.com. We wish you the very, very best with all of your endeavors, and we thank you for some of your time today.
Thank you, Matt, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Hopefully we'll see you out next week at Lake Nona.